In the bustling office of Horizon Travel Agency, Elena adjusted her soft cream sweater, finding comfort in its warm knit amidst the hum of printers and ringing phones. She stood at the counter, nervously flipping through a Bali guidebook. This solo trip was her way of healing the wounds left by her recent breakup with Marco, who had left her for someone else. Her dark hair fell over her shoulders, and small gold earrings jingled softly in her ears, the only jewelry she wore. Across the room, Sofia leafed through a brochure, her denim jacket slung casually over her shoulder, her reddish-brown hair catching the sunlight streaming through the window like a warm glow. She, too, was alone, escaping the pressure from her parents to marry and abandon her dreams of freedom. Their gazes met briefly as the agent shuffled papers, and a spark of quiet curiosity flickered between them, quickly dismissed as a mere coincidence. The chance encounter happened days later on a rickety bus winding through Bali's lush hills. Elena first recognized Sofia's familiar laugh, then her jacket, as both gripped their seats during a sharp turn. "You're from the agency," Elena exclaimed, her voice trembling with surprise. Sofia turned, flashing a wide smile, and replied, "Small world, huh?" The conversation began with polite exchanges, but soon deepened over shared snacks, mango and peanuts spot at a stop. Elena shared the pain of her broken heart, how Marco had left without explanation, while Sofia recounted her escape, leaving a note for her parents. By the time the bus jolted to a stop in Ubud, they were inseparable. Their hands brushed as they stepped into the warm evening air, fragrant with jungle scents, and both felt a subtle warmth they couldn't quite explain. Their love blossomed swiftly, like tropical flowers after rain. Mornings were spent wandering rice paddies, the humid air enveloping them as their feet sank into the soft earth. Afternoons melted into laughter at beachside cafes, where they savored coconut soup and swapped childhood stories. One night, after a long walk along the shore, they paused under a sky ablaze with stars. The waves lapped gently at the sand, and Sofia, gathering her courage, leaned toward Elena. Their lips met in a tender kiss, light as a breeze, brimming with warmth and promise. Elena froze, her heart racing, then responded, feeling the world around her fade away. "I've never felt anything like this," she whispered, her voice quivering with emotion. Sofia smiled, her eyes gleaming in the moonlight. "Neither have I." They rented a small villa overlooking the jungle, weaving a life from sunsets, quiet conversations, and dreams of the future, unaware of the storm brewing ahead. The first cracks appeared over money. Elena, accustomed to saving every penny after losing her family support, grew uneasy as Sofia splurged on lavish dinners, souvenirs, and spontaneous scooter trips. "We can't keep this up," Elena said one evening, sitting at the table with a cup of tea, her voice tense. Sofia scoffed, leaning back in her chair. "Live a little, Elena. Stop counting every rupiah. We're in Bali, this is an adventure." The argument flared, words flying like arrows, Elena accusing Sofia of extravagance, Sofia calling Elena dull. Exhausted, Elena retreated to the villa's couch, tears leaving salty traces on her cheeks. The next day, Sofia brought a bouquet of local flowers and said softly, "I'm sorry, I went too far." They reconciled with a hesitant embrace, promising to listen better, though both knew deep down this was only the beginning. Deeper issues simmered beneath the surface. One day, Marco texted Elena, begging for a meeting and a second chance. Torn between her past and present, she hid her phone, but her silence betrayed her. Sofia, sensing the distance, found the messages one evening while charging Elena's phone. "Who's this?" she demanded, her voice shaking with anger and hurt. Elena's confession unleashed a storm, pain, betrayal, and Sofia's doubts about her own worth. "I thought we were building something real," Sofia shouted, storming out into the tropical rain. Elena chased after her, slipping on the wet grass, and they stood under the downpour, yelling until exhaustion silenced them. "I choose you," Elena sobbed, her face wet with tears and rain. Sofia softened, pulling her close, and they returned home, shivering but reconciled, vowing to be honest more than ever. The final test came weeks later. Sofia received a job offer in her hometown, a chance to prove her worth to her family. Elena, imagining a life apart, withdrew, her thoughts a tangled mess. "Maybe this is where it ends," she said, packing her bag with mechanical precision. Sofia's eyes filled with tears as she stepped closer. "You're my home now, Elena." The villa fell into heavy silence until Elena dropped her bag and rushed into Sofia's arms, their hearts beating in unison. They decided to build a future together, searching for jobs in a new city where they could start anew. Months later, in a quiet apartment, they sat on the couch, flipping through Bali photos, shots of rice paddies, beaches, and their first smiles. The journey had left scars, but forged a love strong enough to weather any storm. Their noses touched in a familiar embrace, a silent promise of forever as tender as that first kiss under the stars.